Hey guys, and welcome back to Sam's Garden Project. Today we're going to be doing something a bit different. We are in the middle of winter and not much is growing in the garden, but today I'm going to go through some soil testing. So I found out about this resource at the State Garden and Flower Show. The EPA had like a little stall there and they were offering free garden testing. So I've done this and I've got the results back and I'm going to go through the results with you. So the process of actually collecting samples and sending them off is really easy. I'll do a voiceover over the video that I've taken, and yeah, we'll go through the results at the end of the video. Okay, so to begin you got to put your details in on the EPA website and they'll give you a reference code. They want you to label 3 Ziploc bags. I'm just put numbers 1, 2 and 3 on them, but I would go back afterwards and put all my personal details on the bags. Then you go outside, you choose 3 separate places in your garden where you want to collect the soil from. They did recommend getting a sample from your front garden, from your back garden, and also from a veggie garden if you have all those areas in your property, but I don't really have a front or back garden, so I'm just doing my 3 samples from 3 separate raised beds. I've labelled them raised bed 3, raised bed 6 and raised bed 8 because I've got 8 raised beds in total, and I wasn't sure the quality of the soil visually looks different from the different beds, but we'll find out how different they really are with the results that we get back. So as you can see here, I'm collecting the samples from my first raised bed. You need to remove the first couple centimeters of the soil that's in contact with the air off to the side, and you need to collect a further down sample, so it's not contaminated with any mulch or sugarcane mulch or anything else that you might put on the surface layer of the soil. After collecting each sample, it's important to clean your tools just so you're not contaminating any of your other samples, which I'm doing here. So now this little trowel is all clean. It is kind of a new one, so it hasn't got much use in it. So yeah, it's a good tool to use for this purpose. Now onto the second sample. This is my raised bed number 6. So as you can see again, just move the first few centimeters of the surface layer of the soil and you're collecting that sample a few centimeters deep. I then cover the soil back over and then I try and squeeze as much air as possible out of the Ziploc bag. This is just so that no air is getting into the sample and it reduces the size of it in the post. So you do have to ship these off to an address they provide for analysis. So I want to make them as airtight as possible, which will prevent any popping of the bags or any spilling of the samples. Don't forget to wash the tools in between each sample. Here I am just washing it again. So now we're on to the third sample in my 8th raised bed. So this bed is where I put a lot of old plant material, old plants, and chicken manure when I'm just got a little bit, like the bigger stuff when I'm mucking out the chicken coop goes in the compost, but just when there's bits and pieces in the pathways, I kind of put it on the top of this bed just to compost in place until the next growing season. So you can see there's cosmos there, the old stalk of it that's all dried up. I'm interested to see the differences, if there is any, in the 3 samples, because bed number 6 looked a lot lighter and fluffier, so I had carrots going in that one, but this soil in this bed doesn't seem to grow as much healthier and lush produce, but that could just be because it doesn't get as much sun. But anyway, doing this soil testing is a great way to see if there's any contamination with heavy metals, the carbon content and the levels of organic nutrients that plants need. I now have my 3 samples ready to go. I'm going to go inside and label them properly with my name, address, the location and the code they've given me, and send them off at the post office. So I've just put in a screenshot of the tables that you get in the report, in the PDF report that's emailed back to you. So the first one is the results of the soil structure test. You can see that both raised beds have clay loam soil, which is great, and the percentage of sand, silt, and clay is a good percentage for healthy vegetable growing soil. So the next table gives you the results of organic carbon content as a percentage, the amount of phosphorus, and the amount of potassium. So these are some elements and minerals that are important for your vegetables, and they require certain levels of them to grow efficiently and healthy. You can see the total organic content of all three beds was only 4%. I'm still doing some research into what the aim should be for the organic content. Some people thinking higher the better, but the ranges are, from lower to higher ranges, and I'm not entirely sure what is good or not. So I've got to go out and do my own research and look into these results a bit more, but there's no red flags when looking at any of these results. Garden bed 3 also has a little bit less levels compared to garden bed 6 and 8. I can now use this information and go and amend the beds if I wanted to, or I could also tailor the plants that I'm growing to the different mineral contents of the 3 raised beds. And the final table of results they provide you is a summary of the trace metals that could be present in your soil. One of the main reasons why the EPA are offering this soil testing service is because a lot of Victorian suburban gardens are in industrial areas, and they're being converted from industrial to residential, and a lot of industry have used heavy metals, so they're trying to keep that out of the soil and keep it out of vegetables for the home grower. I'm not going to go through each result and talk you through it. That's going to be a bit boring, but you can pause the video here and go into more detail. Take the time to look into these results. Nothing is out of the guidelines, so the trace metals especially, they're all well below the recommended guidelines for safe soil levels. So none of it is concerning for me, which it shouldn't be anyway, because I'm gardening in raised beds, so the original owners who put them in would have got soil added into it, but then that could have been contaminated. It's a bit different if you're growing in the ground in a ex-industrial areas around the state of Victoria. You can go through, look at these results, pause the video, and get some more information on what type of information the testing actually provides, and it does have recommendations in the report on what to do if your trace metal results do come back high or borderline on the guidelines. So overall, very easy to do this soil testing, and the best part about it is it's offered for free through the EPA Victorian branch of it, I suppose. The results just give you some peace of mind if you're unsure about the quality of your soil, or if you're living in an ex-industrial area. It just gives you peace of mind about any heavy metal, trace element, contamination that you could possibly have in soils, and it's vital information that doesn't hurt to do, doesn't hurt to know, and you can use this for your advantage in planning out your veggie gardens. So that's it for this video. There will be a part 2 on what I'm doing to improve my soil health this winter. Look out for it, it'll be coming out soon. As always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye guys.